Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Terraforming here, and back with another brand new video. And today, guys, I thought it'd be really interesting to kind of play with the idea of what if Minecraft was always underwater. What I mean by that is, what if Minecraft, instead of it being like this over here, where there's actual air blocks and the terrain looks relatively awesome, but instead there was no air blocks and you had to pretty much create all of your own air blocks that you wanted in Minecraft, and everything was submerged underwater. So I thought I would go ahead and design my own underwater base for you guys, kind of play with the idea of what it would actually be like if I had to go ahead and create my own underwater base, because Minecraft didn't have any air blocks to begin with. So what I started off with was a dome. I feel like that's the best thing to kind of go with, because it kind of plays with what is most realistic. If people build underwater in real life, they typically build some form of dome shape because it just is very, I guess, structurally sound. Next, what I'm doing is I'm putting supports onto my dome, so you can see that by the cross sections that pretty much just follow the entire arc of the dome, and I do that a couple of times to kind of give it a really nice realistic feel. Next, I want to start to transform this underwater dome into my own, I guess, oasis. I really want it to feel like it's my own and make it feel a little bit less like it's underwater. I know that's a weird concept, but I wanted to make it feel like we're above ground, but at the same time, we're underground. So what I started by doing is creating a fake little cliff that kind of surrounds the entire edge of the dome, while also leaving a little space for a doorway to be able to get to the outside, which I guess we'll show in the end of this video. Next, I wanted to go ahead and bring some greenery into the build. I wanted to, again, make it feel like we weren't underwater. I wanted to make it feel like we were in our own little oasis. So we started out by putting a little bit of a hanging leaves style roof in a section of the roof. I kind of sectioned off pieces of this dome to kind of make each part its own. Next, what I did is I started to terraform the bottom ground. I didn't want it to be one flat sand area. I wanted it to be a multi-level feeling base. I wanted to give it some depth and give it some dimension. So what we're doing right now is we're digging out a section for a little pond. I'm going to add a bunch of little ponds here, and it's going to look really nice. It's going to really bring that oasis feel back into my dome and kind of transform it more into an underground oasis versus it being just a dome, kind of like Patrick Starr's house under the sea. Now we're going ahead and we're adding in some grass. That's the number one thing you kind of got to do if you're making an oasis. You don't want it to be all sand. You want it to give it some color, give it some real nice, I guess, vibes of being an oasis. So we added in a bunch of grass. And then one thing that I really like that I did is I went ahead and broke holes in the glass to create like makeshift waterfalls to still give it that feel that we're still underground and we're still underwater, but I wanted to make it feel like it has that really oasis effect. I don't know, whenever I picture oasis, I just picture falling water from the roof. I don't know, that's just something I do. Next, we need to bring in some more foliage. We have some empty space up on top of these cliffs that we want to kind of fill in to kind of, I guess, make the build a little bit more full. So we added in 2 custom trees using a world edit technique that I probably should show you guys, but I'll leave that to a future video to make really quick and easy custom trees that look amazing. So we had 2 of those on top of our cliff, and one thing that's nice about this dome is that it's completely symmetrical, so we only have to build a quarter of it, and then we copy and rotate it over and over and over, so that way it just builds a lot faster using world edit. It's a lot nice to use world edit. It just makes it so much easier. Next, I want to go ahead and detail a little bit of this glass that is kind of plain. So we had a bunch of cross sections in using some stairs and some slabs to really give it a little bit of detail. And again, since we're building in quarter sections, we only have to build half of it, and then we can rotate it and it will fully complete it when we are done. So I did this by making one section, flipping it to the right, then rotating it 90 degrees, and then pasting it, and then copying that whole section, and then rotating it 90, pasting it, rotating 90, pasting it until it pasted on all 4 sides. And next, what I'm doing is I, again, wanted to add some more depth and really add a nice center focal piece. So we basically added like a spawn in area. So we made it submerged below the grass. We added some really nice walls. We added some really nice, I guess, ascending staircases that kind of flow with the terrain. And I think it really makes the centerpiece really nice. This almost could be like a server hub almost. I mean, it has that feel to it since it's just a big open oasis inside of a symmetrical area. But, you know, that's not really what I was going for, but it kind of multi-purposes as that. Next, I wanted to go ahead and add in my entrances to the underwater world. Now, this could even be like an entrance to another section of the base. You can make more domes and have like tunnels going to the different domes, but I just wanted to build one dome, kind of have the start of an underground or underwater world versus doing the whole thing, just to kind of make it a little bit quicker, to be honest with you. So then we went ahead and we copied and rotated that on all 4 sides. Again, using World Edit, when you're building in a symmetrical build, make sure you copy and rotate and paste things as much as possible, because it just makes things go a lot faster. Next, I wanted to add some more depth to the glass itself. So what I did is I made sure to change the glass to 2 different colors of glass. So we used gray and black, and you can see it gives a really nice effect. They're very close in color, so it just adds that little bit of dimension to it that wasn't there before, and just makes it look like 10 times better by only adding a different block. That's all I did. Next, what I need to do is the structure of the entire base, for the most part, is pretty much done. We just have to go back now and add in all of our detailing and all of our texturing. So on the stone itself, we added in some cobblestone and some andesite, and then on the ground, we changed the grass to grass and some lime green clay, just to give it a nice little texture feel. They're 2 similar colors, so they work really well together. And then we added in a really nice path that's very organic on all of the sides as well. Last but not least, we go back and add in our foliage and our really minute details, just adding leaves everywhere, adding in flowers and grass and lily pads, and just things that fill up empty space without adding in new structural builds. That's the real goal with adding foliage. I went ahead and added in some random fences too. Again, these are just things that are randomly placed, but they're strategically placed because they make the build look a lot better, just because they're filling up that, I guess, bland area, and it just makes it look good. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just some like artistic thing, is, you know, filling in that negative space, I guess, is the most artistic term for it. And then that's pretty much it. We copy and paste it all sides and it's done. So this is pretty much our little oasis underneath the ground. You can see it changed a lot from the very beginning when it was just the outer dome, and by adding in all of the things that we added, it really turned it into a really nice and homey underground or underwater build. And it almost, in my opinion, besides that you can actually see the water throughout the glass, it really feels like you're not underwater in a way. You know, it just has that feel to it, you know. And I just wanted to show you guys kind of how easy, I say that lightly because obviously I've been building for years, but how easy it is to turn any dome into something that looks really nice. Now, walking through this dome, you guys can really see the sections that I built this in. You can see that we started off by kind of building this little cliffside, and then we rotated on all of the sides, and then we went in and we added in the details of all of these arches. We really, if you can see, we started out with a little arch right here, and then all we did was add in detailed cross sections, and it just made it look like $1,000,000. And then all we did is like make the ground one lower right here, and it added that little bit of depth that it needed. And then we added in this really nice center focal point to really fill in the empty space. And like, it makes it transform by a lot. Like, it's such a small thing to do, but it makes the build look so much better. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not really much else to show you, and this is just kind of what I would envision it would be like to build underwater if there were no air blocks in Minecraft. I am going to leave the download for this specific build in the description, because I think people could make this into a really cool base, because if they went ahead and added little tunnels off to like the side over here and kind of just added new domes, it would be really cool to see a massive base that is just all underwater. But I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. It's definitely a little bit different, but I kind of want to show you guys how easy and how cool it looks when you build underwater. I don't do enough underwater builds, and I think this is a really good start to maybe doing some more. But if you guys did enjoy today's video, definitely let me know down below. And while you're down there, guys, might as well hit that subscribe button. But as always, guys, I love you all. See you guys next time. Peace out.